How would American politics change if ballots showed only candidates' policies and qualifications, but not their names or party affiliations? How big are these ballots going to be? Who's going to keep them honest about their policies? I think ranked choice voting would bring a bigger improvement. Unfortunately, I expect many voters wouldn't bother to read all that. Have you read some of the policy comparison tools that get published before elections? Sometimes the answers are so vague or unclear that you can't actually tell what they believe in until you go to the candidate's own webpage or see them speak. It's normal to receive an information ballot prior to the election that describes each and every candidate's policies. Do people read it? Doubt it. When it comes to policies or ordinances directly, the description of them is usually on the ballot directly, so no confusion there. Sounds like a ballad of lies. How do you know if a politician is lying? Their lips are moving. We're in a two-party system, so it might only have minimal impact on the voting. The basic policy differences are pretty much set and well aware of. Qualifications have never been a major factor. Won't work. It would be full-on lies. Less people would vote because people don't have the patience to read. Politics has become more of a team sport. Most people blindly follow their team. Virtually no difference. The marching orders come from conservative media. The lemmings vote as they are told to vote. Reading and thinking are not part of the process. You would get even more postcards associating their name with the party. In my state, we get a ballot book that explains candidate platforms well in advance of every election. So what you describe out here is already how it is done. Ballots without names seems like a great front for the powers that be to just install their own hand-picked candidates into whatever position they want while claiming that the voters actually chose them. More than they already do, obviously. Plenty of candidates have gone 180 degrees from their campaign promises. It's the character of the person which we vote for IMO. As we know from Trump, what one says during campaigning and what one would do after elected can be two different things. Who would be in charge of writing the ballots? Many times I've heard vote for this proposition to do X, and then you read the actual proposition and it doesn't say anything about X, or worse, outright goes against X. The people who decide what policies and qualifications get put on ballots would have a lot of power. Kinda doesn't matter. Look at Trump. All he said in campaigning, he didn't follow. They'd just load them up with keywords, and you'd know what party they're from anyway. You see pro-life or pro-choice, and you don't really need an R or a D to know what party they're with. I'd prefer resumes as well. We should be hiring for expertise as well as policy positions. Part of what we elect is the judgment of our representatives. I would still have to go through all the candidates and look up their social media to filter out any MAGA or MAGA adjacent people. Having the R next to the name makes it a bit easier to filter them out. We can't even get properly written ballot measures condensed for ballots. How would we possibly do this in a fair manner? Condensing a candidate's entire campaign into a few sentences. Get rid of the party affiliation, use randomized order for the names, and require ranked choice voting. People who research their candidates will make educated decisions, while those who don't will vote randomly enough in aggregate to even out the noise. Or the news could not use adjectives. That assumes people know what they're reading and can understand the policies. I wish it showed their criminal records and financial supporters. Nobody is going to spend more than 5 to 10 minutes voting.